Hopefully the Lord's on my side for this one, and I don't get tongue-tied again. Okay.
Hello, and welcome back to Zillow with Zoe. I am Zoe Pickett, and I am once again here to spread the gospel to the masses. If you've made it this far in the series, honestly, I applaud you. I doubt that I'll even make it this far. When Mark sends me the final drafts, I'll probably not watch them all the way through and just text back, "Looks good," just to get him off my back. I am especially excited for today's episode, and not because of the houses, but because of the location. If you have had one conversation with me after Under the Banner of Heaven came out, I've probably mentioned Mormonism. Because of my obsession for the LDS Church, I am happy to say that today we will be looking at houses in Salt Lake City, or as I like to call it, Salt Slake City. The only city where God says soaking doesn't count. Today there will be a house that boots the house down, and a house that made me frown. Honestly, this location was the hardest to find a house that I liked. If you know anything about Salt Lake City real estate, you know that pretty much all of the houses on Zillow are gonna be new builds in suburbs, which is not really my vibe. Also, the Salt Lake housing market has been a mess. It has some of the most overpriced houses in the country. Utah's housing prices have inflated so much that there is a housing crisis where people cannot afford to live in all the new houses being built. But it's not just because the houses in Utah are better. In Provo and Ogden, the housing prices were overvalued by 50%. I guess the saltier the water, the more inflated the houses. But seriously, keep that in mind as we look at the houses today. This first real estate can boots the house down. For $1.7 million, you can live on a dirt road 20 minutes outside of Salt Lake City, but this house makes it worth it. It is 4 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms with 4,411 square feet, with nice wood accents and a tastefully done industrial look. Not only does this house have an incredible view of the mountains, but it's also on 0.64 acres of land. Plenty of room for all of your future missionaries and your golden retriever to frolic. I really think that this house could easily match anyone's style. So, for that reason, this house is a boots the house down. This next house honestly did more than make me frown. I chose these houses in early June, and I still think about this one like twice a week. This is probably the worst house you're gonna see on this show. The others have been debatably bad, but this one, I think you would have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on renovation to even make it livable. For $1.4 million, you can purchase the bane of my existence. It's 4 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms and almost 6,000 square feet. Even though this house is huge, every room seems so cramped and tiny. The outside is brutalist and literally falling apart. And honestly, as it should be. This house deserves to be falling apart. Not only is this house terrible, but the interior design makes me shiver. It took the worst aspects of every decade and the most unbearable color combinations and then asked you to pay $1.4 million for it. I would rather pay $1.4 million to have this house burned to the ground. For that reason, I can safely say that this house made me frown. There was so much carpet. And normally, I'm a big fan of carpet. After that unbearable house, let's take a look at a sweet little video of a monkey to wash out our eyes.
I'm shriving it down, yeah, I'm causing a madness. I'm shriving it down, yeah, I'm causing a madness. I'm shriving it.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Zillow with Zoe. Stay tuned for next week when we do a reverse Mormon pioneer trail and head from Salt Lake City, Utah to Boston, Massachusetts. In the meantime, give a Mormon a little kiss. And don't forget to tell your mom you love her for me.